We've had 3 MAs who have come for training and 3 PhD candidates in Spain. Unfortunately, these trainings are not necessarily in the languages. They get universities, they get admissions, and they get supported by the Spanish Agency for Cooperation. It's not in our control. That's why we would like a cooperation program where the training is decided by us. Then we can say we want 3 MAs in comparative literature. We want 2 PhDs in Spanish philology. It will be easier for us to control the inputs and the outcomes. The progress so far, our strategic line of action in the department has been focusing on training those students who we have mobilized for short courses with the hope that we will transform them later into full-time students when the Spanish course opens. These are students who are taking other courses on campus, like students of medicine, students of botany, students of accounting, students of political science, students of anthropology. We have all types of students who come, even mathematics and music, especially music. We found that very interesting because we use music in teaching Spanish. And when we dance salsa, ooh, it's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. It's very, very popular. And it has brought us very good students. Another principle which we keep in mind is capacity building for Ugandan teachers of Spanish. We have very, very few teachers, and we would like to develop more teachers of Spanish, especially Spanish as a foreign language. In other words, our whole approach has been anchored in equitable exchange and transfer of skills through an intercultural language learning approach. That's why we use salsa for teaching. We watch films from Spain, films on toreados and etc. We have very exciting times, and we've been attending concerts in Spanish music when they do come to East Africa, because we think that it is through intercultural exchange that language becomes a friendly way of knowing the other and eliminating stigma, discrimination, biases. We think that it's one way of bringing social justice nearer to the people. What are our constraints? Our constraints have been that, as I told you, our teachers who come for Spanish come on very short-term contracts. The assistant lecturers who come under the cooperation assistance, they do not stay for long. They cannot help us a lot in terms of curriculum development. You can imagine, with my Poquito Español, I was the one coordinating the curriculum development. Seguro, it has a lot of errors, mucha faltas, of course. But it is an effort to say that we can do it, even when we are not perfect. And if we can get partners abroad, we can do it even better. If we could sit, for example, with the specialists with PhDs from Egypt, specialists who have been teaching in Ghana, and our friends from here, I think we can do a good thing. What is most important is to get the commitment from the people, from the community which wants to learn the language. And that one, por seguro, we have it. Another constraint, I think there are more constraints there, but they're very quick. We have very little time to invest in learning material development. So we end up with having to buy books every year because the student needs the book. It's expensive, and once the book is lost, you cannot replace it. If we can develop materials locally, it will be more sustainable. The content focus, we would like it to be more on language learning, but every time we get blocked because the British teaching of learning language was more towards social linguistics and theory. We also have inadequate long-term planning, and of course, as it has been talked about by the other presenters, we lack resources, infrastructure, financial, human resources. Now, what do we expect? When I was preparing to come for this exchange discussion, I was telling myself that there are at least 4 things which I would be very happy to achieve if I could. First of all, if we could exchange information and enrich the course content and the structure of the program that we have of Spanish, I would be very happy. If we could discuss ways and means of mobilizing the required resources, especially for the initial population, the initial groups, that would be lovely. If we could widen the initial concept of the language program to cover other key functions of my university, because my university has key functions like learning, like teaching, but also research, publication, and knowledge transfer partnerships. Knowledge transfer partnerships. That is the most innovative way of cooperating. We really hope that we will have a knowledge transfer partnership with the University of Salamanca. We would also like to consider ways of working with other universities like Cairo, like Salamanca, like University of Ghana. We would like to see how we can work together on the same initiatives and have not only sisi tusaidiane, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, but sisi tusaidiane, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Spain, Egypt, Brussels, etc. Then there's a Department of Journalism and Media and Communication, a Department of African Languages, then the Department of European and Oriental Languages. I am the head of that department. And that is the department which would like to enter into collaboration with the University of Salamanca. Spanish, therefore, is housed by our newly formed Department of European and Oriental Languages, of which I am head. There we teach French, German, and Arabic. Although there you see them as 3 programs, we have French beginners, French advanced, German beginners, German advanced, Arabic beginners, Arabic advanced, and certificates in French, certificates in German, certificates in Arabic. It becomes quite a lot of work. English language is taught under the other department of ELS, Linguistics and Communication Studies. So it is not wholly with us, although we teach like the history of the British language, of English, although we teach the social linguistics of English, they do it, the students in my department offer it in that section. We also have masters in French, masters in German and Arabic, but we are merging them. We're in the process of changing towards MA European Languages, specialization French, MA European Languages, specialization German, etc. And we're also changing MA Arabic towards MA Oriental Languages. And then you will have a specialization. It is the same for PhDs. Although we have not had candidates in Makerere itself, we have collaborating universities which have been taking our candidates to Poitiers in France, to Beirut in Germany, and unfortunately also to Libya for Arabic. Actually, it is worrying for us, Mr. Ambassador, because if Libya then stops supporting our staff, that means that we will not have MAs anymore and we cannot have PhDs. And we're only 15 members of staff with all those programs. So you can imagine the revolution in Libya means a lot for us. Our two members who are the most senior in the Arabic section, they were supported by Libya but trained in Khartoum. I'm very proud to say that South-to-South cooperation works. It is a reality. And we thank you, Sudan, for supporting us. We have approximately 400 students for the 4 languages that are taught, and about 15 members of staff. Though we get some volunteers, we get some short-term contract staff who come and help us. So Spanish is on our drawing board. It is coming. We hope that also Chinese is coming. We've already got curriculum which has been drafted. We are in the process of finalizing. We hope that by August 2012, we will have students of Spanish and of Chinese.